Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Last time we discussed about the dynamic array. So this video will be wrap up of the array and in this video we will discuss some intrinsic function related to the array. So let me get started. I will create simple program. Let's say functions and program and implicit none. This time let me create a real variable. Okay, the real dimension, and I want to create one dimension only having two elements. Okay, and one thing, one dimensional array is like a vector for a photon, and two dimensional array is like a matrix to a photon. So one dimension acts as a vector. Okay, and I want to create two vectors a and b. Now I want to give data to the a array variable using the shorthand way. Okay, so there are so many ways you can use data statement as well. So and I will give 2 and minus 4 for this. Okay, and b is equals to, let's give 3 and 4. I want to take the dot product of these two vectors. Dot product of the vector gives scalar value, you know that, and we cannot do cross product here. So there is one simple function to perform a vector dot product. Okay, so let me use that. I want to do print. Okay, I want to use that function. The function is dot product, dot underscore product, and in the parenthesis you have to give the argument as a vectors, a and b vectors. Okay, so let me run that. Okay, so we got minus 10. As you can multiply yourself, 2 times 3 6, minus 4 times 4 minus 16, 6 minus 16 is minus 10, and we are considering real data type, so answer comes in real value. Okay, so this is the vector dot product intrinsic function, and I have given two elements only. So you can give many elements, so this is for the vector. Okay, now I want to create matrix and I want to multiply that matrix. Okay, so let me create this time integer data type, and I want to create a dimension. I will multiply 2 times 2 matrix, so I will give 2 comma 2 as a dimension, and I want mat a, okay, mat b, these two matrix we will multiply, and I want to store that result in the mat c. Okay, mat c is the product of mat a and mat b. Now we have to give the value to the mat a and mat b, and for that I will use the data statement. That will be very easy. And what I want is mat a to be identity matrix, so I will say, okay, first row all column to be a value 1 comma 0. Okay, and data mat b, and I want second row all column value to be a 0 and 1. Okay, so now this mat I wrote mat b here, let me correct that. Okay, now mat a becomes the identity matrix as we have given first row 1 comma 0, second row 0 comma 1. Okay, now I want to give value to the mat b, and for that I will use the shorthand way. Okay, and for the shorthand way we have to give reshape function, and in the reshape function we have to give the source and as well as the dimension shape. I want to create very simple matrix. Okay, now I want to give simple elements 2 comma 4 comma 1 2 comma 1. Okay, and here I have to provide the condition. Condition means the shape is the 2 comma 2. So mat b is constructed. Now we are going to multiply mat a and mat b. Okay, now we will multiply mat a and mat b and store that value in the mat c, and for that we will use the intrinsic function. So the intrinsic function is mat mul. Okay, so mat mul is the function to calculate the product of two matrices. Okay, and I will say here mat a and mat b. So mat a and mat b product will be stored in the mat c. Now let me print out all the matrix. Okay, so and for that I will create the loop. So I need two integer variable, okay, I and j, and let me print out all matrix. So I will say do I equals to 1 and 2 and do, and inside I will print mat a I comma j for j is equals to 1 2, and I will wrap this inside the bracket. Okay, and I will say print. I want one space, I want to create one blank space, so print. Now I will copy and paste about 3 times because I want that for mat B and mat C as well. Okay, so and here mat B, okay, and here mat C. Okay, now let's check out the result. So result is, okay, first mat A is 1001 and mat B is 2241, and when we multiply this mat A and mat B, we get the result mat C, and mat C is same as the mat B because we multiplied mat B with the identity matrix. Okay, so this way matrix multiplication works very easily using the intrinsic function, but you can create an algorithm to multiply the matrix as well. Okay, manually you can do that, but these intrinsic functions can be very useful when multiplying the matrices. Okay, now let me show you other some intrinsic function of the array. So you can see here two arrays. First array A having 5 elements, this is one dimensional array, and second array mat having 2 dimensional like a matrix of order 2 times 3, and this is the elements of A array and this is the elements of mat array. Okay, I have used shortened way to assign the value to the both array. Now I will show you some intrinsic function. First intrinsic function is the size. Suppose we want to find the size of the array A and size of the matrix A. It is very easy, as we have the intrinsic function size. Inside the parenthesis we have to give the array name. So size of A and size of array mat. Okay, now if we print out, so we got 5 and 6 because A has 5 elements and mat has 6 elements in total. You can multiply the order if you want. 2 times 3 is 6. So that is the size. Now I want to find the shape of both matrix. So I can say shape of A and shape of mat. So if we run that program, so we got 5 because that is the actual shape, it is one dimension, and shape of matrix is 2 comma 3, so it shows both 2 and 3 as a shape of the mat. Okay, and now I want to print out the rank. So rank is the dimension of the array. So rank of A, and I want to find the rank of mat. Okay, and let's print out. So we got 1 and 2 because the A array is a one dimensional array and mat is a 2 dimensional array. So this size, shape and rank, these are the intrinsic function of the array. Okay, and it has many other derived functions as well. So let me show you some of them. Okay, now I want to know whether any or all elements of A less or greater than some specified value. Okay, so in that case there is one function that is called all. Okay, and I have to give the logical operator here. So I will say A greater than 5. So what does it say is, are all members of A greater than 5? If all members are greater than 5, then it gives true result. If not, it gives false result. Okay, so if we run this, okay, it gives false. Okay, now for the same case, if I say any, okay, A greater than 5, so any checks whether any one of the member is greater than 5 or not. So let's check out. Yes, it gives true value. Okay, because 7 is greater than 5, 8, there are 4 elements which are greater than 5. So all in any works in that way, and you can do the same for the 2-dimensional array as well. So I will say any, okay, and I will say mat, that is the 2-dimensional array, less than, I will say 1. If any of the mat elements are less than 1, let's see, yes, there is -5 which is less than 1. So if I run this, okay, it gives true result. Okay, because one member is less than 1. If I check for all, then obviously it will give a wrong. Okay, it will give false result. So that is about all and any. And you can count also, if how many elements are less than 5, how many elements are greater than 5, you can count also. Okay, you can count. So I will say count, and I will say a greater than 5. Okay, so how many elements of a array are greater than 5? If I count this 10, 7, 8, 100, there are 4 elements which are greater than 5. So let me run that. Yeah, we got 4 elements which are greater than 5. Okay, and you can count for the same in the second 2-dimensional array also. I will say mat less than 1. Count how many elements of mat are less than 1. If we count, yeah, it says 2. Okay, because 0 and -5, these 2 elements are less than 1. So count works in that way. Okay, and there is, and if we have to find out the sum of all elements of A, okay, sum of all elements of mat, so there is intrinsic function for that also, that is the sum, and I have to say A. Okay, and I want to find the sum of mat also. So if I do this, okay, it says 121 and 16. So these are the sum. If you take the sum of all these, it will give 121, and mat or elements, it will give 16. Okay, so like we find sum, we can find the product also. So I will say product of A and product of mat. So if I run that, okay, so these are the product. This comes in negative because one number is negative here, and second, mat elements 0, because one number is 0 and any number multiplied with the 0 gives 0, so comes 0 here. So in that way we can find the product also. And while calculating the product and the sum, we can provide certain marks also. We can only take the sum of specified values. Suppose here sum A, and I want to take the sum of only those elements which are greater than 5. Okay, so in that way we can change the value. Let's check out. Okay, so okay, last time we got 121 as a sum of all elements here. Now we are getting 125. Okay, because we are taking the sum of only members which are greater than 5. Since -4 is count here, so 4 times it is decreased, so it comes -2, it comes 121 here, and it comes 125 here. Okay, I think you are clear. So you can provide the marks in any of those sum and product case. Okay, now there are some other intrinsic function as well. If I want to find the maximum number in the array A, okay, so we can say max vol. Okay, and we can and I want to find the minimum value of the array A. So if I run that, so it says maximum value is 100 and minimum value is -4. So you can do that as well, and I can do for 2-dimensional array also, min vol, and let's say mat, and we can provide the marks here also. So I will say if mat value is less than -5, okay, is less than 1. So I want to check out the maximum number of mat array of only those elements which are less than 1. Okay, so if I run that, okay, it says 0. Okay, maximum is 0 because less than 1. So less than 1 are 0 and -5, and which one is greater here? 0 is greater, so 0 comes here. Okay, and min vol. Okay, so this way max vol, min vol, and sum product, you can provide marks in the sum product, max vol and min vol. Okay, now 2 more intrinsic function remaining. They are the lower bound and upper bound. So I will say L bound and L bound of A, and I will say U bound of A. So they are the bound of the matrix of the array, and if I run this, so it says 1 and 5 because they are the extent. So array 5 means first extent is 1, that is the lower bound, and maximum extent is 5, that is the upper bound. Similarly we can do that for or a mat also. So I will say mat, okay, and u bound, since they are the two dimension, it should show two values for the both dimension. Okay, so this 1 and 1, that means the lower bound, because it is of two dimension. First dimension has 2 extent, so lower is 1, and second dimension 3 extent, lower is 1. Okay, first dimension 2 extent, upper is 2, and second dimension 3 extent, upper is 3. So you can do in that as well. But since it is giving two values for upper bound and lower bound, you can create only one value also using the dimension attribute. Okay, so I will say dimension 2. I only need to find the upper and lower bound of dimension 2. Okay, dimension 2 means this part. I want to find the lower and upper bound of that 3 only. Okay, so if I run that, so it says 1 and 3, that is the lower bound and this is the upper bound. So these are the intrinsic function. It might comes in handy while performing some calculations. Okay, so this much for this video. If you have any question, write down in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe.